this Actor, and as you can see, with the recent addition of Overload to my collection, I've finally managed to complete the Studio Series Devastator, and he is huge! Seriously, he can't even fit into my regular review space. Now, the thing is, there have already been a ton of pictures and videos of this guy going around, and I don't want to just add to all of that noise. However, one of the complaints that I keep seeing is that he's made to stand on two legs, and that there's no way to get him to look good on all fours. Well, after messing with him for a couple of days, I'm rather satisfied with how I have him, and I think you'd agree that he looks rather darn good. Of course, there are technically a ton of ways that you could have him on all fours, and they each have their own pros and cons. However, in this video, I'd like to share with you guys my preferred configuration. Credit where credit is due, some of the elements of this configuration were discovered by the good folks on TFW 2005. First, we have to start with his left forearm. Looking at Devastator from the front, you can see that I managed to get his two arms roughly about the same size. My left arm configuration is slightly different from the official transformation. Instead of using Hightower's head as a thumb, I turned one of Scrap Metal's arms into a thumb instead. In addition, by collapsing the tower inwards, you can also shorten the forearm and make it more compact. Some of the alternate configurations have the threads becoming the fingers, but I personally don't like the look of it. Moving on to Overload, after plugging in Scavenger, don't fold the cap panel at a 90-degree angle. Instead, fold it up a little bit so that you can sandwich it between the feet. We also need to flip open these two panels on the side of the feet. Next, Mixmaster attaches to Scavenger via 2 points. On this post that gets sandwiched between the two rear wheels, and these two tabs that Mixmaster clips into. For this forwards facing configuration, we'll need to angle Devastator's head upwards, so we'll only be using these two clips. Before that, however, we need to angle the tabs backwards by sliding Scavenger's two red struts as far back as they will go. This will also help to lock everything in place. Peg in Mixmaster, and we can see that Mixmaster is supported and held up by Overload's feet. Those two panels that we flipped out before serve to cover up the major gaps and add some nice molded detail. But that's not all. Scavenger's wheel struts can be folded forwards and they line up perfectly with Mixmaster's front wheel wells.
Looks like it was meant to be.
Now I have to mention that an alternate configuration instead involves disconnecting this joint and folding Mixmaster in half. My issue with that configuration is that there's nowhere for Mixmaster's front section to peg into. Last but not least, all you need to do is to rotate Scavenger's arms so that they appear thicker from the front, and voila! Studio Series Devastator crawling on all fours. Now, this Devastator is certainly not perfect, and one could argue that Devil Savior's Troublemaker is the definitive ROTF Devastator toy. However, I personally think that this is one of the coolest and most ballsy, see what I did there, attempts by Hasbro at a mainline combiner. And as a Transformers fan, I can't help but be impressed. If you missed out on this guy, there's not only going to be a yellow repaint of Rampage coming out as a Skipjack, there are rumors that there's going to be a box set as well. Will he come with additional parts like the fins to make him even more movie accurate? Only time will tell. But as for me, I'm going to have to start thinking about where on earth I'm going to be putting him. Perhaps next to my Combiner Wars Devastator. So, this is Actor saying, see you guys in the next episode.